Welcome to the deep dive. We're here again, ready to unpack some fascinating insights from quite a stack of material.
That's right.
And today, our mission, if you will, is exploring the weirdest side bets ever placed.
Oh, this is a fun one.
Isn't it? Like, have you ever stumbled across a wager that was just so bizarre, so completely off the wall you had to do a double take?
Definitely. You see something listed and just think,
Yeah,
is that even real? Can you bet on that?
exactly. Those are the kinds of bets we're getting into, the ones
Yeah.
that really sort of push the limits of what you normally imagine putting money on.
Yeah, and the material we've looked through, it defines these side bets pretty well. It
Mhm.
calls them those quirky, outlandish wagers that make you go, wait, you could actually bet on that.
That sums it up perfectly.
It really shows how the betting world isn't just, sports or politics. It can stretch to cover almost anything. Finding value or maybe just finding a market in really unexpected corners.
So for this deep dive, that's what we're doing. We're pulling back the curtain on these truly unique wagers. What do they actually tell us? What surprising things do they reveal about, well, the betting landscape itself?
And maybe even about human nature too, right?
Yeah, I think so. So the plan is we'll start with some interesting examples from the UK.
Okay.
Then we'll hop over to the United States, see what's happening there.
Got it.
And finally, dive into some even more global head scratchers before we kind of wrap it all up and think about what it means.
Sounds like a good plan. Let's dig in.
All right. So, kicking things off in the UK, our sources, they point to bookmakers there accepting bets on, well, all sorts of things.
Like what?
Everything from, say, the name of the next royal baby, which, okay, maybe not that weird. There's some logic there.
Sure, you can kind of handicap that one.
Right. But then you get bets on whether Elvis would be found alive.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's different.
You can probably guess how that one turned out. But someone, somewhere, genuinely put money on it.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What's the appeal? Is it the legend? The hope?
Maybe a bit of both. It taps into something beyond just, verifiable facts.
Definitely. It touches on, like, wish fulfillment or maybe even these collective myths we share.
Yeah, and speaking of myths, consider this one from the UK sources. A punter placed, I think it was £200,
Okay.
betting that the Loch Ness Monster would be definitively proven real by the end of that year.
Nessie, of
Yeah.
course. What were the odds?
The odds were 500 to 1.
Whoa. Hey, that's a long shot.
Needless to say, it didn't pay out, but imagine the buzz it created.
Absolutely. But it brings up a point.
Yeah.
How does a bookie even calculate odds on something like that? Something so elusive.
That's a great question.
It can't be based on historical data, really. It feels more like gauging public fascination
Yeah.
versus scientific likelihood.
Yeah, like an intuitive feel for the market's belief versus reality. Creates a pretty unique risk for them, I guess.
For sure.
And, this whole idea of betting just for the story or the sheer novelty of it, that seems to carry right across the pond to the U.S. The sources show some equally wild stuff happening there.
Oh, I bet. Like what?
Well, for instance, during the 2020 presidential election cycle.
Okay, yeah. Politics always gets weird bets.
Right. You could actually bet on whether Donald Trump would launch his own TV network after leaving office.
Huh.
Or even on Kanye West actually winning the presidency.
Wow. Okay, Kanye for president. Some bet on that.
Yep. It just shows how current events, pop culture, they don't just influence the bets, they become the bets.
Absolutely. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
These examples really highlight how much celebrity culture and, the news cycle just permeate the betting world.
It does.
But it gets even more surreal, doesn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
The documents we looked at mentioned someone, back in 2012, I think it was,
Okay.
who wagered $1,000 that aliens would make contact with Earth before the year was out.
$1,000 on alien contact. Seriously.
Yep. And he apparently told the press something like, if it happens, I'll be rich. Which, okay.
Fair enough.
But if it doesn't, well, we're all still here. So that's a win, too.
Huh. That's quite the philosophical hedge on your bet.
Isn't it? I mean, personally, if aliens did show up, I think my $1,000 bet would be the last thing on my mind.
Right. You'd probably have bigger things to worry about.
Exactly. But it just shows how far people's imaginations will stretch, when there's a wager involved.
It really does. A unique perspective on losing, that's for sure. And speaking of broad appeal and unique wagers, you can't really talk about eccentric U.S. bets without mentioning the Super Bowl, right?
Oh, absolutely. The Super Bowl prop bets are legendary.
The research points out you can bet on almost anything. Just every conceivable detail.
Like the Gatorade color.
Exactly. The color of the Gatorade dumped on the winning coach. Or the exact length of the national anthem performance down to the second.
Right, right. Or the halftime show stuff.
Yeah.
Will there be a wardrobe malfunction?
Yep, that's often on the list, too. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
These Super Bowl examples, they really show just how incredibly specific these side bets can get, don't they?
Lovely.
It's like they commodify every tiny moment, every little riffle in the whole spectacle.
Yeah, it's not just about who wins the game anymore.
No, it's about monetizing literally every second of public attention. It's kind of a fascinating way the entertainment side blends with, well, public betting.
It really is an extension of the show itself.
Exactly.
And the scope just keeps getting wider. It doesn't stop with big sports events or pop culture figures. The material we read took us even further.
Yeah. Where else?
To the Philippines, for example.
Yeah.
Apparently there have been underground side bets there.
Okay. Underground betting. Always interesting.
On things like how many times a specific politician will blink during a press conference.
Blink. You're kidding. Counting blinks.
I am not kidding. Counting blinks. Can you imagine the focus required?
Wow. That truly pushes the limits of specificity, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And just observation. It just shows this almost limitless creativity in finding something, literally anything, to put money on.
It really does. So, okay, let's step back a bit. Connect these dots. What does all this tell us, looking at the bigger picture?
Well, I think these peculiar wagers, even though they often seem like just harmless fun, maybe,
Yeah.
they fundamentally show the remarkable lengths the betting industry, the betting world, is willing to go to engage people, to keep them interested.
That seems right. It's clear from all these examples, whether it's just for entertainment or a bit of a thrill, or maybe it's tied to these, like, global curiosities or conspiracies.
Right. There's always going to be a market for it, it seems, as long as someone, somewhere, is willing to put money down.
It's pretty incredible how that basic human desire for, what, a thrill, or maybe just a good story to tell later.
Yeah, or just being involved in something unpredictable.
How that continually shapes and expands these betting markets. It's fascinating.
It really is.
So, as we start to wrap up this deep dive then, just take a second. Think about the sheer range of weird bets we've just talked about.
It's quite a list.
From guessing a royal baby's name, to counting a politician's blinks, to betting on Nessie, or even alien contact. It's been a wild ride through the unexpected corners of wagering.
Definitely. And if you boil it down, the core takeaway here, it's really how far the betting world stretches itself to pull players in, to keep things interesting.
Yeah.
The insights from the sources summed it up nicely, I thought. Something like, from entertainment to global conspiracies, there's always a market.
As long as someone's willing to put money on it. Yeah, I remember that line.
Exactly. It really speaks to that fundamental human thing, doesn't it? Wanting to find stakes in the unknown, maybe.
I think so. Absolutely. So here's a final thought for you listening out there. Next time you find yourself scrolling through a sportsbook app or website, whatever, maybe pause for a second.
Okay.
Take a look beyond the main events. Check out the novelty or special section.
You never know what you might find.
Exactly. The material we read even joked, you might just find a bet on the next pope being from Mars.
Wouldn't put it past them at this point.
Right. It's just a funny thought, but it really makes you consider the boundless scope of human curiosity.
Yeah.
And the surprising, sometimes really humorous ways it shows up in the world of betting.